Hello friends, welcome back. I'm Beth, here to help you fulfill your potential in meditation. As most of you know, I don't have just one method that I teach to everybody, like one size fits all. Instead, I much prefer to teach people one-on-one. And the reason is that you're all different. So please use these videos as a guideline. And if there's anything that isn't quite working for you or anything that doesn't quite fit, then be in touch and I'll be more than happy to discuss those things with you one-on-one. Today's video is about discerning kalapas internally and externally, near and far. Now obviously this video is going to make much more sense to you if you're already familiar with seeing the kalapas, and especially if you're already familiar with discerning the different types of kalapas and the causes that they arise from. Now I've made some other videos on the different types of kalapas and their causes, so I'd suggest that if you haven't done so already, you watch those videos and if possible, do the practice, because this video is going to be much more intuitive to you if you're already confident with seeing the kalapas and their different types and the causes in practice. Now, if you are already confident in seeing the different types of kalapas and their causes, then now is the time to practice seeing the kalapas internally and externally, near and far. The Buddha said that we should practice to see all materiality internally, externally, near and far. So how do we do this in practice? Well, if you've already practiced the jhanas, then a good idea would be to start by practicing up to the fourth jhana until your concentration is nice and strong and stable, and then practicing 4 elements meditation until the kalapas in your own body are clear. If you haven't developed the jhana, then you can start with 4 elements meditation directly again until the kalapas throughout your body are clear. Now we want to give plenty of time discerning the kalapas in our own body until we feel confident. And then we want to start increasing the physical distance little by little. So we might start, for example, trying to discern all of the kalapas in a 1 meter radius around the body. And we want to extend this distance in what the Buddha called all 10 directions. So the 2 sides, front and back, the 4 corners, up and down. And we expand our awareness out like a ball, 1 meter in all directions, and then we discern the kalapas within that ball. Now, if we're alone in a meditation hall, then much of the materiality outside of our body is just going to be temperature-born kalapas. If we're sat with other people, then we might get the edge of somebody else's body in that ball. Or if we're in nature, we might get some worms and ants and mosquitoes or something like that included in this 1 meter ball of kalapas. When we feel confident with that 1 meter ball, then we can expand a little bit further. 2 meter ball until we're confident, 5 meters, 10 meters, and we want to expand in stages until eventually we can discern all the kalapas up to infinity in all directions. Now you don't need to do that in one meditation sitting. You can take as long as you need to expand step by step as you feel confident. Now, as we expand our awareness out and discern kalapas outside of our body, we'll notice kalapas of different types. When we encounter another living being, for example, we'll see the karma-born kalapas, and this is where the practice can get really interesting, because as we expand our awareness out more and more, we might encounter some things that we can't see with the physical eye. For example, we might be able to discern the kalapas in the ghosts, in the hell beings, in the devas, in the brahmas, and it gets really interesting because some of these beings have different types of kalapas. They don't all have the same types of kalapas as human beings. Now what I would suggest if you do this practice is don't check the book before you sit. So in the book we can find the lists of all of the different kalapas that you can expect to find in the brahmas and the devas, for example, but I would suggest don't check the book. If you come across one of these beings in your awareness, then just check really diligently what types of kalapas can you notice in those beings. Make a note of the types of kalapas that you can notice, and then later check the book to see if the book is right. In that way, we keep the practice fun, but it also helps to build our confidence in the power and the accuracy of our own discernment. So, those are the instructions today for developing the awareness of kalapas near and far. Discerning materiality internally, externally, near and far. It's a really enjoyable practice, so what I would suggest is that you get off of those screens, get onto the meditation cushions and give it a go. If there's anything that's confusing you, if anything isn't working for you, then be in touch and I'll be more than happy to discuss those things with you one-on-one. As most of you know, I do all of my work on a donation basis, so I encourage you to support me either through Patreon or through my website so that I can continue to make these videos. Thank you so much for your support. Wishing you the best with your meditation.